Hello everyone, I'm Mitak Sethi and right now we are headed for a podcast with Mr. Ayush Gupta, who's the Director HR at GAIL India Limited. Welcome to the Conversations That Matter, the flagship podcast of the RDIAS Industry Interface Office, RIO, at Rukmini Devi Institute of Advanced Studies, New Delhi. The podcast aims to bring students closer to distinguished leaders whose insights and experience continue to shape organizations, people, and the future of Indian industry. It is a privilege to welcome our distinguished guest for today's episode, Mr. Ayush Gupta.
Hello.
So it is really an honor to be here at your office right now, and thank you so much for graciously hosting us and for taking the time to be a part of this podcast.
My pleasure.
So, sir, I'd like to begin by taking you back to your days as student. When you were pursuing your graduation, did you already have clarity about the career you were going to build, or were you like many students today, exploring different ideas, opportunities, or trying to discover where you truly belonged?
I would say I was just like any other student. We faced dilemma of what to pursue, whether to do MBA, whether to go for studies abroad, or whether to do MTech or to go for a job. All the options were pretty much open at that time for me. I also prepared for CAT and gave my CAT examinations. Simultaneously, I was appearing for my campus placements also, and also somewhere in my mind thinking about giving GRE and going abroad. So, which I didn't do eventually, but then I definitely appeared for CAT and parallelly appeared for my campus placements, and I was lucky enough to get a
great,
campus placement before I could get my admission in MBA. So that is what I chose. But to answer your question, it was not very clear that this is what I want to do, and I explored everything. And
That's great, sir. So, in today's time, in our time, basically, students still pretty much explore all the different options that they have. So, what do you think? Does a student require to have a particular goal that he wants to achieve and he works for it? Or is it okay to explore different ideas, grab different opportunities throughout your career building years?
so looking back to my experience and looking back to my own journey, I would say it's better to have a clear goal that, okay, this is what I want to do. And because the competition is increasing every day. And if you want to do MBA, you really need to prepare for a year or two well so that you can get a reputed institute of your choice. Half-hearted preparation will not lead you to the goals which you want to achieve. So if you have clarity, that's the best. But if you don't have that clarity and you want to explore, that is also pretty much okay, because 30 years back the limited options were there, but today so many of options are there. The only thing which is required is you should not get confused among different options. You should at least give your time, okay, within 1 year or 2 year I'll decide what I have to do. That cannot be an endless process that I'll keep on exploring and
True.
not hook up to the thing I want to do in my career.
True. Okay, sir. So, sir, Gen Z today receives advice from everywhere. Let it be friends, LinkedIn, YouTube, mentors, or parents. So, when you were making your important career decisions, whose opinions influenced you the most? Was it your parents, your friends, or your teachers? Or like, did you simply just trust your own instincts?
I would say everyone had a bit of influence, whether it was my teachers, parents, my elder brothers, friends. Fortunately, at that time, LinkedIn and YouTube were not there to influence your choices. But then everyone played an important role in terms of shaping up the thoughts. The final decision was definitely my own, but then directly or indirectly, subtly, their presence in your life do influence your thoughts. So you should be conscious of what you're doing.
It's really important for someone to give you insights or tell you their experiences so that you have a great, exposure to everything. So, sir, while you were pursuing your graduation in your college days, Were you involved in any clubs, committees, or technical societies, or any student activities during your college years? And looking back, do these experiences contribute to leadership in ways that you think classroom learning alone cannot?
Then definitely I'll start in a reverse order. These things are involvement in various activities, whether it is technical societies or cultural societies or sports or any other activity, definitely helps you to gain confidence in your life, uh, bring clarity in your communication, also helps you to network beyond your given goal or task at that given point of time. And my own journey in terms of when I was in my college days, I was involved with the cultural society. I was part of the cultural society from first year onwards only. And then also, I was not a very involved in sports and other things, but in terms of the technical societies, I was part of IEEE society was there. So organizing conventions, making presentations, writing papers, and in terms of organizing cultural fests and all those things. So that definitely helped to shape up the personality which I carry today, and I believe it helps everyone who is involved.
So, you told me that you were in your cultural society. So, can you tell us some interesting stuff about your cultural societies or what role you played there?
In the cultural society, that was also a bit of a technical role, because within the cultural society, like you people are doing podcasts,
Exactly.
we had a audio society. So managing backstage of any event being happening and making sure that all the audio visuals are working fine, I was part of that society. And
Yes,
in
sir.
my final year, I was secretary of that society
That's
also.
great.
So in all inter university fests, cultural fests, all those which were happening, so managing the backstage and making sure that all the audio visuals work go right, because any defect in a audio visual thing, you know how badly it can affect the performance of the
Basically, all these clubs
all
and
those
society, yeah, basically clubs and societies improve your on-ground experience rather than just theoretical knowledge. And I guess every student should be participating in these club societies to improve their skills. So, sir, those 6 years before joining GAIL were probably as important as the 28 years that followed. So, what did those early years, those 6 years, teach you that you think no management textbook ever could?
See, first and foremost thing what it taught me was, uh, when we were in university, we had high expectations that okay, when we'll get into job, we'll do this thing. That will be the kind of atmosphere it will be. You'll have so many things to do. But the day I landed up at the place, I got a job at Insilco Limited and a place called Gajrola, a name many people would not have heard of. I got down from the bus and I came to know I'll have to walk about 2 to 2.5 kilometers to reach the township or the plant where the job is, and there was no Uber and Ola at
Yeah.
that point of time. So I was literally started walking with my baggage in my hand, and fortunately somebody came and gave me the lift to take me to the township. But then when you entered the plant and we started working, it was a very different thing what we thought of when we were in college, that okay, workplace will be like this. So it the first reality check that what is a workplace and what we expect in our college and what we ought to do when we enter into a workplace. That was the first thing. Then the place itself was a very isolated place. It was not a very well developed town or a city with very limited facilities. The township was good, the infrastructure was good, but then very limited people, very less number of people. How do you accommodate, adjust yourself to an uncomfortable situation? I grew up in a BHL township with all the best of the facilities in the world being there, and suddenly moving to a place where you find that the basic minimum things are also not there.
Exactly.
Even a marketplace is not there, or the city is not clean, and the city had all the smell from molasses and all those things, and you have to survive there. And the first reaction was that I will not be able to even stay for more than 7 days there, and I was thinking of leaving it and going back home, and the homesickness also kicks in. So but then fortunately I could survive and then last there for 6 years. So how do you accommodate to such situations when you face the reality that what you are expecting and you get something else? Do you run away from it, or you try to make best of what is available to you. How do you make use of time? How do you contribute more in that given situation and add value to the whole process or the opportunity that has been given to you? I think that has been the biggest lesson that first 6 years of my job at Insilco has given me.
So this is really inspiring to know, and I guess students these days, the Gen Z, should know that in order to achieve something big, in order to really do something, you need to get out of your comfort zone for the
And you have
initial
to
time.
stay put. You
Exactly.
can't say I'm not comfortable. Okay, I'll try something else. I'm within 6 months I'll give up, or 7 days, 10 days I'll say okay, I'm not liking it. I'll go to somewhere else, and I can add up to this thing that nowadays many people join GAIL or any other organization, and within 1 year or 2 years they will say okay, we want to switch, and when they go to the other job they will say no, the first one was better. So because they don't know how the workplace, first experience is okay, this is not what I expected, let me try something else. But only when you move to the second thing you realize that okay, it's the same everywhere, so maybe probably the first one was better. So that is something you need to give yourself time. One is, if you are coming out of your comfort zone, you don't need to panic or be nervous about it. Give yourself time, give others time to adjust, and give your best in whatever time you are there. Try to give your best, be present, and work towards your goals.
That was really nice, sir. Truly inspiring for me as well. So, sir, now I see a bookshelf over there, and there are a lot of books in there. And in today's age, students are often told to read because people are like, leaders also read, so you should also read something, get inspired by something. Yet, most students struggle to develop a reading habit. And me, of course, I also struggle to develop a reading habit these days. So, do you read regularly? And if yes, then how has reading influenced your thinking?
See, I would say I'm not a very avid reader. I have not read many books, but then nevertheless, reading definitely helps. The more you read, the more you get to know about the world, and it can be any reading. It need not be only technical reading. It can be fiction, it can be non-fiction, it can be stories, it can be news items. Anything you read, one thing is it improves your vocabulary, which is very much needed in today's world. Second thing, it brings clarity of thoughts, because the more you read, the more you get to know about the world, the more clarity comes in your opinions. You are able to see, okay, this is what I agree to, or this is what I don't agree to. You are able to form your opinions in a more democratic manner and decisive manner, rather than making an opinion without knowing about anything. The major problem which I see today is that we have opinion on practically everything without knowing about the thing. So unless we read about it, unless we get to know about it, making opinions and judgments is not the right thing to do. So that way it definitely helps, and it shapes up your personality also in the longer run.
True.
So reading definitely is a good thing, but I can add to that, especially for the students also, in terms of what we see. In last 7 years, I would have interviewed almost 8 to 10,000 students for various job interviews, and what I observe is within your textbook and course books, that reading habit has gone. Now most of the people, I feel that they are preparing or giving examinations through their notes, or maybe through the PowerPoint lectures and systems, and then they are able to get good marks. But then when you try to go into the depth of that subject depth knowledge of the subject is critically missing, and that makes it that your knowledge also is very superficial. So unless you read through the subject book, the examination, the course which you are pursuing, you need to study. That there cannot be any shortcut to going through the textbooks in that matter. But unfortunately, what I observe is that habit of even reading the textbooks is going away. I don't know about the school children. School children are still made to go through the textbooks and the things. But in college, I'm sorry to say, but that is what my experience has been, that students will not be even able to tell the name of the professor or the author of the book which was prescribed for the course.
It's true, sir, because back then when I was little, I was in my school. So first we had textbooks, we used to read textbooks, and our teachers made us read the books. But eventually, as the time, as things advanced, the PPT started to come up, the smart board started to come up, and eventually everything that teachers taught us shifted from the textbooks to the PPTs itself. So the students, quit reading, basically. They were taught things, they were told things, and they were like, कि, चलो ठीक है, we'll do this, and अब read नहीं करने की कोई need नहीं, we'll just read the notes, हम बस brief ले लेंगे, हम अच्छे से करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं. So I guess कि what you said is really, really true, that the main core of that book, like, even the author's name, that's really important thing.
That was just an example. Author's name
Exactly.
is just
No.
an example. That's
That
the
people don't
minimum
even know
least
that. Exactly.
anyone would expect that you would remember.
Exactly. But people nowadays don't even remember that. So that's true, sir. Sir, so now India is moving rapidly towards becoming a gas-based economy while simultaneously investing in renewables, AI, and energy security. So from your vantage point, what excites you the most about India's energy future?
See, the most exciting thing about India's energy future is that one, we are a growing economy. The energy requirements for the country are ever increasing. Per capita energy consumption is far more less than many countries in the world. So the energy demand is really, really huge. But what excites really is that the way we are handling the energy requirements. Few years back, we said solar is so high priced and the growth is only 3%, 2%. Now it is the fastest growing energy means. Almost more than 250 gigawatts of solar energy installations are already there.
Exactly.
We are progressing well on other forms of renewable energy, be it the nuclear, be it the wind, be it the compressed biogas kind of things. And then everything has an energy in the energy mix, be it coal, be it hydro, be it natural gas, be it solar, be it CBG, wind. Every form of energy has its place in the Indian energy basket.
True.
So huge opportunities for further development in those areas. There's no doubt that everything is going to have a place. It's not that 5 years from now the fossil fuels will go away. Fossil fuels will also remain present, but at the same time, more and more renewable energy will definitely find our place in our homes or in our industry or offices.
True, sir. So, sir, throughout your career, one theme repeatedly appears, which is people. You've often said that leaders must lead by example and remain connected with the people. Could you please talk about this?
See, leading by example, we read everywhere. It's not something new which I say. And that remains true within our homes also. When we try to teach our kids and our peers, kids learn from what they see. And that remains true when we come to an organization like GAIL. All the young employees who are joining GAIL now, they look into what their seniors are doing, what their peers are doing, what their leaders are doing, and they indirectly imbibe those values. That is how we say when we talk about organizational culture and organization values. How do these get formed? It gets formed by the way the leaders lead the organization, by the way they exhibit those qualities and values to the people around themselves. If I tell, like I'm just saying that everyone should read, and if I'm not reading myself, I'm not setting a right example. That saying it will only remain in words, but if people see that, okay, whatever file comes to me, I am reading it line by line before taking a decision, that is how my team members will learn about it. That okay, no, if somebody is sending a proposal to me, they need to read it before it is sent. Otherwise, I am going to read it line by line and point out what is missing in it. So they will be better prepared next time they come to me. So if I am not doing it, they will also start following that casual approach. So these are small habits that we need to follow, and we need to be conscious of as a leader what we are doing. How I am walking, how I am talking, how I am dealing with my team members, how I am, if there's a brainstorming session happening or a discussion happening, how we are conducting ourselves. Everything matters. If I say ethics and integrity, whether I am following those practices or not. If I am not following that, how can I expect my team members to follow?
True, sir.
So these are the some things which the leaders have definitely to lead by example and make sure that they do it right.
Sir, now that we're talking about leadership, there is a question that many students ask in today's date, that does a person need to develop leadership skills within themselves, or do they naturally kick in? Is a person meant to be a leader, or can he or she become a leader if they actually work on it and work on their leadership skills?
See, some of the things come naturally, but that does not mean that if you don't have those skills by birth, you can't develop. Na? If you have not been exposed to a certain area, or you come from a background that you never got exposed to meeting people, networking with people, or be in a leadership role, so that was a, say, for 15 years you have not been exposed to that area, is not your fault.
True.
But when you enter into a situation where you have to suddenly play that role, definitely you need to work upon yourself, and there are ways and means where you can definitely improve upon your leadership skills and be a very effective leader, irrespective of what you have studied or what you have gone through in your past years.
True, sir. So, sir, GAIL has launched its AI Tarang to prepare employees for an AI-enabled future recently, and many students today worry that AI will replace their jobs. So, in your opinion, should they be worried about AI replacing their job, or should they be preparing differently?
See, that's a long-standing debate. When we were in college and when the laptops and computers were coming, it was said, okay, when the computers are coming, the jobs are going to go away, and you need to be really worried. The same debate is going on nowadays, that okay, AI is coming and a lot of jobs are going to be taken away. But then, as somebody says, you are not going to be replaced by AI, but you are going to be replaced by somebody who knows AI better than you.
Exactly,
So
sir.
that is where the differentiation is, that okay, you have to prepare yourself that whether you will be able to adopt that technology, adapt to the changing environment in the workplace. If you are not able to do that, definitely you are going to lose your job. But if you are able to adapt, if you are able to use the technology or even AI in an effective manner, there are going to be enough opportunities for you. Even AI is definitely not going to replace anyone's
True,
job.
sir.
The quality of jobs or the nature of jobs will definitely change. The routine and the mundane jobs will definitely be taken over by AI, but then it will also open up an opportunity to do more value added and quality jobs in your career or in your profession.
True, sir. So, sir, now, if you were to leave our students with 5 leadership principles that they should consciously develop during their journey, principles that will remain relevant regardless of the industry, the technology, or the role, what would those 5 principles be and why?
Let me think a bit
No,
about
sure,
it.
sir, sure. Take your time.
One thing which, whenever I address the new entrants within our own organization also, or whenever I get to interact with them, is that the feeling or the value of gratitude. And this is what I find many times missing, that we forget people who have influenced or helped us in our life, or in whether it is our parents, whether it is our friends, whether it is somebody in the society. So always be grateful to people who have been in your life as a support system, or in a helping nature, or even if just they have been there for you. So be grateful to everyone, every creature or nature, for what it has given to you. That is first thing we must not forget. Second thing which I would say is the ownership of what we are doing, what anything, whether we are studying, whether we are on job, or whether a task is given to us, we should own what we are doing. That ownership is really, really important. Third thing which I'll say, as a professional or as a student, would be to be consistent. Consistency matters. In one task we may be really good, but repeatedly whether we are able to repeat that performance or not is also matters a great deal. We need to be consistent. Consistent does not mean that every time I have to be a topper.
True.
Consistency means in terms of the hard work I put in, the ownership I take, in terms of the efforts I make to achieve a goal. I need to be consistent in that. I should not be that, okay, for one thing I have been slogging hard for 10 hours a day, and suddenly next job is given, I say, okay, no, I can do it in 2 hours, and I don't put my wholehearted efforts into.
True.
So that consistency in work is the third thing which is important. Fourth thing is, which is very, very important, and in a highly competitive world which we are entering into, and with so much of distractions available around it, the value of integrity is really important. How do I live my values? How do I imbibe my values and exhibit on a daily basis is, I think, very important in a business world. Integrity will take you to greater heights. It may bring you challenges in life, but then it may lead you to make difficult choices, difficult decisions in your life. But if you are able to live up to your values, I can tell you it will take you to sky is the limit. But then you have to make sure that you don't lose on the integrity part. And the last thing, which is again related to all this, what I said, is ultimately the accountability of what my own actions.
True.
What I observe today is, okay, something goes wrong, all of us, including me, will be quick to blame somebody, some situation or somebody, that okay, this was not there, this resource was not available, this person did not support me, this system does not support me, or the environmental conditions were not in our favor, that is why we are not able to perform.
Yes, sir.
How we are accountable to our own selves, to our own organization, to our own institution, to my own family is, I think, which is really important. If we start taking even 10% of the accountability of our own actions, I am sure we'll be a much better person or a much better leader in our own lives.
True, sir. That was really wise and really inspiring as well. So, sir, lastly, let's do a little bit of rapid fire questions. So, I'll ask you questions and you can just rapidly answer them one by one. So, let's start with the basic questions first. Are you a morning person or a night person?
I used to be a morning person. I am nowadays, I'll say, depending on the time, or
Yes, sir.
get
You must be
to-
having a really busy schedule throughout the
yeah,
day.
so I'll not be able to sleep before 11 definitely, but
True.
I wake up comfortably.
What do you prefer, coffee or tea?
Most of the time tea, but I'm happy to have coffee
That's
occasionally.
great. That's great. So, sir, one habit you wish every student developed?
One habit, I would say, in the overall context, be conscious about your health and work upon your health.
True, sir.
Yeah, whether you do yoga, whether you do morning walk or whatever, but a healthy routine is really important.
True, sir. So, one skill that would never go out of demand according to you?
One skill, working with your own hands. That is something that will remain, whether you are doing AI, whether you are writing, whether you are reading, whether you are in a manufacturing job or in a business job. You should have that habit of writing by your own self, doing with your own hands is really very important.
Absolutely, sir. One mistake that students should avoid while starting their career?
Like I said earlier, not getting nervous or panicking too early and making too many frequent changes and not getting clarity of what they want to do.
Okay. So, sir, what do you think is more important, a degree or the skills?
Both are important.
Both are important.
Both.
True. So, sir, but if we talk about today's time, people usually think, students also usually think, that skills are more prioritized when you go for a job interview or anything, more than the degree. So, sir, according to you, what's the ratio? It's like, are they like 50-50 important, or like skills are more important than the degree itself, or the degree is more important than the skills
See,
themselves?
definitely skills are important. There's no doubt about it. But in current scenario, still I'll say 70 to 80% of the organizations, we have a prerequisite of having a degree. That degree only gets you to enter the door. Once you enter the door, whether you get a job or not will depend on whether you are able to exhibit that knowledge and skills that are required for the job. But that getting an entry into the room, your degree is the door.
True.
You need to cross the door as of now. Maybe in future things will change, but most of the job descriptions or advertisement you'll say will have a qualifying degree which is there. So
I guess this is a really important thing the students need to know. They can't just choose any degree and then work on the skills. They need to pursue the degree, which will help them build their career in their expertise. So I guess that is, really
that is
helpful for the
definitely-
students.
That is required. You can't, as of now, you can't do away with
Exactly,
it. Maybe
sir.
in future years, next generation will have that option. The current generation
Exactly, sir.
really doesn't have that option.
Exactly. So, sir, according to you, what's better, hard work or smart work?
Again, the question will have both the things. Hard work also does not have no replacement. But while working hard, you need to be smart enough to avoid mundane things. If you can do a job smartly working by within an hour, there's no point that you'll slog for 10 hours to do that job.
Okay,
So hard work combined with smart work, like you said, there's an interesting story all of us have read of Kachua and Gharkosh ki race, but
Ji.
now there's a newer version
True.
that if both Kachua and Khargosh getting together and winning the race instead of Khargosh winning the race or Kachua winning the race all the times. So that is how it needs to be. You need to be smart enough to take along your team and win as a team rather than being an individual winner in your life.
True, sir. So, sir, for today, that will be it. Thank you so much for sharing your valuable insights and experiences with us today. And on the behalf of the team RDIAS, we extend our sincere gratitude for your time and for this enriching conversation that will help all the students and the people watching this. And we wish you and the entire team of GAIL all the best and continued success as you lead one of the India's most important organizations. Thank you for joining us, sir. We look forward to having you on a podcast again. It was really a pleasure hosting you.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity and coming over to our office to have this interaction. I sincerely hope that the students will find value into it, and I can tell you if there's anything I can do or any support I can extend to the students or to the institute, I'll be more than happy to look
Thank you
forward.
so much, sir. It means a lot to us. It's been a pleasure.
Wish you all the
hosting
very best.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.